Up at UFC 324, we've got Ricky Turcios taking on Cameron Smotherman. Carlos, who you got in this one?
This one, it's a tough pick, but I took Smotherman in this one. I'm taking Smotherman because I feel he can stuff a lot of Turcios takedowns. Turcio will attempt a lot of takedowns, but he doesn't necessarily get a lot of them. And I think he can land the more effective strikes on the feet. And by strikes I mean the punches, because Smotherman heavily favors boxing as well, but. Smotherman is comfortable with stuffing takedowns and kind of just stalking his opponent as they're trying to create space. And against someone like Turcios, that's going to be a problem because I don't think Turcios is going to back up. I think he's going to try to, he's going to try to grind out a victory, kind of like he always does when he gets a victory. He's going to try to get you up against the cage. He's going to try to get you in the clinch, try some takedowns, short shots on the inside. He's busy. But Turcios isn't the most effective guy. Like, he lands, he doesn't look like he hurts his opponent very much. He's going for takedowns. He may get the attempt, he may not, but he doesn't get it all the time. And he misses more of the attempts than he gets. Someone like Smotherman, he has pretty good takedown defense. If he could just stay busy, I think, and probably throw a little bit more than one shot at a time. You know what I mean? Like, if he can throw in combination, stuff some of these takedowns, I think he can have a lot of success. But the reason why it's tricky is Turcios just likes to push the pace, and someone like Cameron Smotherman just kind of wants to stalk you. He doesn't cut the ring off. He doesn't, like I said, throw in combinations. He doesn't stay busy enough, and he's got a 2-fight losing streak, and in fights that he could have came out on top, and most of the reason why he lost was because he just wasn't busy enough in the fights. He's happy with trying to evade some of the punches, using some head movement, using the high guard, and trying to counter one shot at a time. And at that level, it's just not going to work. So unless he can probably drop his weight into some of those punches a little bit more accurately to cause some damage, because he does throw some light shots when he counters, he doesn't turn into everything, he's going to have a problem with Turcios. And to be honest with you, I'm taking Smotherman because I think he could be a little bit more physical than Turcios in this, and he could take him out of his own game, because Turcios on the feet is not that clean, but he is busy, and I think that Smotherman, even though he doesn't throw a lot, could land the cleaner shots and probably steal the round. So I'm going to take Cameron Smotherman, and hopefully, I think he's on a 2-fight losing streak, if I'm correct, and I hope that that lights a fire under him, and he gets busy in this fight.
Yeah, perfect breakdown. To be honest with you, Carlos, I agree with pretty much everything that you said there, and you are correct to say he is on a 2-fight skid. Obviously, one of those fights in his last fight was Ricky Simón on short notice, so you can kind of take that or leave that however you want to analyze that performance. But there's no secret here. Cameron Smotherman is a guy who will leave fights to the judges. He has very low output at times. He's looking for that one-hitter quitter. Very boxing-heavy approach, doesn't throw a ton of kicks. And like Carlos said, he wants to stalk you and really just land that one big shot. And one of the things we know with Ricky Turcios is he is very heavy forward pressure. He is definitely a guy that will get in your face. He's not necessarily the most skilled guy. I've got here in my notes, a little bit more volume over power. Doesn't necessarily hit you and hurt you and back you up. I think Smotherman's going to be the guy that's going to be the one coming forward. But to me, this fight has a greasy split decision, upset Ricky Turcios written all over it. I am going to go with Smotherman, but I will say this, keep this one out of your parlays. I do not like a pick on either one of these guys here. I think we're looking at, probably fight goes the distance here. Smotherman is a guy that wants to land that one big shot, but he doesn't follow it up. He doesn't give you something to kind of really, make you win big moments inside of rounds. He'll land a shot, he'll kind of stand and look at you and then maybe whiff at air a few times. He won't mix in takedowns. Turcios will make every single fight that he is in a dogfight, unless you are able to finish him like Raul Rosas Jr. did. And I don't see Smotherman being able to get that finish, so I think that Turcios here is going to have a lot more output than Smotherman. I think he's going to do the classic Caitlin Shikagian back in the day, making a lot of noise, not necessarily landing with impact. He's going to look to mix in grappling. He's not going to get the takedowns because of Smotherman's takedown defense. And we know with Ricky Turcios as well that his cardio is definitely a weapon. I see him taking over late and making this one a greasy split decision. But I am going to go with Cameron Smotherman. I agree with Carlos's sentiment that obviously a 2-fight skid is definitely going to light a fire under the young man's ass, hopefully here, and he's able to pull this one out with maybe a bigger shot, or at least winning the early rounds. Turcios takes over, and he does enough to win a split decision. But Cameron Smotherman, would not be surprised if he ended up losing this one to a guy in Turcios who's just bigger.
A few moments later.
More output in this fight. However, I do think Smotherman's going to get this one done with the harder, cleaner shots. He is the better fighter overall. Turcios pulls off an upset. I don't see it in this one.